but dreams.
Good evening, Belize,
not
and
just
welcome
communities,
to
but
XTV's
families.
news broadcast for Thursday, August 7, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, prison held liable for death of critically ill inmate. List of new ambassadors announced, and GOB reassures workers of job security in SARA transition. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Ready for back to school with Benny's B-Books. We have limited edition Benny's exercise and composition books just in time for the new school year. Get 6 composition books for 5 B-Bucks and 12 exercise books for only 2 B-Bucks. Benny's and B-Books, getting you ready for back to school.
We are ready for back to school. Are you?
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
Measles is a virus that is highly infectious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It often starts with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes, followed by a rash that spreads all over the body. Measles can cause serious complications. But here's the good news. Measles is preventable. The safest and most effective way to protect your child is through vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe and available at your nearest health centers and clinics. Let's keep our families and communities safe. Get vaccinated. Stay protected. Brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in partnership with PAHO and UNICEF.
Belize introduced its new electronic passport in 2022 through the launch of the Electronic Passport Issuance and Control System, EPICS. The e-passport includes an electronic chip that safeguards the holder's personal information and photograph. It also features a verification mechanism compatible with biometric systems such as smart gates at international borders. The passport's design reflects national pride, showcasing Belizean landmarks and symbols. It incorporates 26 modern security elements to prevent fraud and corruption. The introduction of the e-passport aims to enhance security, improve processing efficiency, and reduce application backlogs, benefiting Belizeans both domestically and abroad. The Ministry of Immigration, strengthening national sovereignty, security, and socio-economic development.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. There was a report earlier this week that the High Court had granted an estimated $300,000 in damages and legal costs to the wife and children of now deceased convict 68-year-old Jahangir Rahman Mahdi Abadi, who died while serving a 6-year sentence for abetment to murder. Abadi, a resident of Belmopan who suffered from uncontrolled diabetes, chronic kidney disease, and uncontrollable hypertension, passed away on August 31, 2019. The following year, the family sued the Attorney General and the Superintendent of Prisons, who operates under the authority of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Justice Tawanda Hondura ruled that Abadi died due to wrongful acts of the prison, which had an obligation to treat and provide medication to prisoners or refer them for outside treatment if they are unable to provide the appropriate health care. Justice Hondura deemed those acts to have been grossly negligent. As it turns out, the case concluded with a confidential out-of-court settlement, as recorded in the judgment handed down on June 16 this year. Therefore, while a figure has already been publicized, Leroy Banner, the attorney from the Abadi family, told Creme News XTV that he cannot confirm it as the parties agreed to keep it confidential. Prime Minister John Briceño today finally announced the new ambassadorial appointments, and there are some significant changes. The new ambassador to Taiwan is Catherine Main, replacing Dr. Candice Pitts. Nestor Mendez, as had been previously rumored, will be Belize's ambassador to the U.S. Joshua Putt will join him as minister counselor. Janine Koyi Felsen will be the permanent representative to the UN and former CEO. Kenrick Williams will join him as deputy. Luann Burns will now be Belize's ambassador to El Salvador, while Perlita Aldana will take up representation in Cuba. Dr. Henry Canton will be the ambassador for trade to CARICOM. Alfonso Gahona and Aisha Borland have been named ambassadors at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Remaining in their positions are Cherry Nisbet, currently High Commissioner to the UK, Oscar Arnold, Ambassador to Mexico, Jose Alpuch, Ambassador to Guatemala, Gianni Avila, Ambassador to Belgium and the EU, Gail Miller Garnett, High Commissioner to Guyana, and Lawrence Sylvester, non-resident, Ambassador to CARICOM. Following the media campaign by the Public Service Union regarding staff concerns about the transition to a semi-autonomous revenue authority, SARA, The government, in a lengthy release Wednesday, rejected many of the claims as misinformation. As we have previously reported, the PSU president has explained that they are not concerned necessarily about the transition itself, but insist that the job security of the existing 236 staff members be guaranteed. He affirms that under the three options provided, staff will be displaced. The Belize Tax Service Department has created a one-page FAQ in which it responds to the common staff concerns. It knows that no one will lose their jobs as they will be given first consideration to apply for positions within SARA. Those who are denied a job under the SARA will be transferred to another department within the public service. The FAQ states, quote, whether you transition or stay in the public service, your years of service are recognized and factored into any benefit considerations, end quote. The Director General of the BTSD, Michelle Longsworth, has explained that to join the SARA employment under the BTSD will be terminated and new employment will begin under the SARA. She says they are following international best practices. In this regard, the FAQ states, quote, if you choose to remain in the public service or retire, your pension benefits remain intact. If you join SARA, your service with the public service will end and you will be compensated following the PSR and Pensions Act, end quote. In its release, the government also rejected the claims that the BTSD is poorly managed, saying records show it has consistently met and exceeded tax collection targets. In fact, the government says the BTSD is internationally recognized as a leading tax administration. Based on recent independent external evaluations, the government says there has been an increase in the tax-to-GDP ratio from 12.8% in 2019 to 15.6% in 2024 without any increases in business tax or GST. It also points to continued staff training and the rollout of a new revenue management system and the IRIS portal for taxpayers to manage their tax accounts. Additionally, the government explains that the reform is a continuation of the amalgamation of the Income Tax Department and General Sales Tax Department in 2019. That same year, the government obtained a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank to strengthen the tax administration in Belize. The government says the reform that started in 2019 is being supported by the Caribbean Regional Technical Assistance Center. Another clarification made by the government is that all taxes collected will continue to be paid into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. In other news, there is a lot of uncertainty surrounding the global tourism industry currently, thanks to the global tariff wars initiated by U.S. President Donald Trump. The U.S. has also been cracking down on immigration violations, and many people in the diaspora of numerous countries are afraid of traveling outside the U.S. currently. Still, despite the uncertainty, Honorable Anthony Mahler told the media today that Belize's arrival numbers, particularly those who enter via the Philip Golson International Airport, have been holding steady. He said that there has been an increase in visitors from Canada and Mexico.
In terms of our traffic to Belize, we've held our numbers. May and June were a little bit soft. July we rebounded robustly with almost 10% increase over last year, and last year was a very strong July as well. And we believe that we will continue with our momentum going into the high season coming up, especially when we build capacity, when these flights are put in place actually on the ground, right? We've seen an increase in Canadians coming. We've seen an increase in Mexicans coming. And so we will continue to work in South America. I think Central America right around us creates a great opportunity for us as well. The problem is air connectivity.
Transport CEO Chester Williams has proposed a bold plan for the government to institute a moratorium on the issuance of licenses for motorcycles so that a comprehensive strategy can be developed to address what the growing matter of concern. On the one hand, there is a troubling rise in road fatalities involving motorcycles, and on the other hand, motorcycles have become a preferred mode of transport for criminals.
Just on Monday, we discussed, myself and my minister and the chief transport officer, and I proposed to the minister for us to have a moratorium on the issue of license for motorcycles. Motorcycles are certainly becoming an issue. Yes, I know it is not going to be within the sole prerogative of our ministry to make that decision, but we are going to propose to Cabinet for there to be a moratorium for us to do a more comprehensive studies in terms of what we need to do to enhance road safety where motorcycles are concerned. There are several issues surrounding motorcycles, and like you rightly pointed out, Paul, the fact that they are used by some to engage in criminal activities is a major concern. The fact that we have a number of our young people dying on our highways on motorcycle due to reckless use of motorcycle is another major issue. And so we have to look at both of these issues and see what we can do to be able to make the riding of motorcycles on our highway more safer. We have discussed to see if we can come up with a plan where, in order for you to get a driver's license for a motorcycle, you must undergo a 2 to 3 weeks motorcycle riding course. We're hoping that there are going to be people, entrepreneurs, who may wish to open a school to teach people to ride motorcycles, and in order for you to get the license to ride the motorcycle, you will have to be certified by a certified institution. And so these are things that we're looking at. We're also looking at trying to see how we can get the Bureau of Standard to come up with a standard certified helmet that motorcycle riders must use, because this practice where they just use a bicycle helmet that's just fit on top of their head needs to be do away with. It is not a proper helmet. It does not protect them in the case of an accident, and so that is one thing that we also need to try to see how we can address. Again, we do understand that motorcycles is the poor man transportation, and we're hoping that if we do get the go-ahead for the moratorium, it shouldn't be for too long. I think in about a month, 2 months' time, we should be able to come up with a more comprehensive plan in terms of how we move forward to make sure that those persons who ride motorcycles on our highway are safe.
Williams say they also intend to meet with motorcycle vendors across the country, as the law requires that helmets are sold with motorcycles. However, Williams says these must be of a higher quality. Specifically, as it relates to the criminal element, Williams is looking to a recent policy implemented in Honduras.
What Honduras did recently, and I saw the Honduras move. And when I saw it, I sent it right away to the Minister of Home Affairs. And I said to him if he thinks that we should consider doing this in Belize, where Honduras have now banned the pillion rider. So on a motorcycle in Honduras, only one person can ride. And again, it's because of the same thing. Where you have the rider, you have the pillion rider is normally the gunman. So they did that move as a means of safety to try and quell some of the issues that they were having with gunmen riding on motorcycles and go and perpetrate the criminal acts. So again, in the discussion that we're having to amend the law to make it more stringent where motorcycles are concerned, we are including the police as a part of the dialogue. Again, we're also looking at other things, like, for example, the helmet that is worn by the rider and the pillion rider must bear the license plate number of the motorcycle. So again, we know that the helmet is good, but there is also the evil aspect behind the helmet, where the helmet is used by the gunmen to conceal their identity. So you conceal your identity, you will not be able to recognize because of the helmet. You put this license plate on the helmet, so once you see the license plate on the helmet, we can know exactly who the cycle belongs to. We'll be able to trace the cycle through the license plate. And the law is going to be clear if you go down that route, that you will not be allowed to loan your helmet to anybody. If you loan a helmet to anybody and they go and use it to commit a crime, the onus is then going to be on you to prove that you are not the gunman at that particular moment.
After the break, Mexico Health Authority issues alert over Colgate toothpaste and new FIU director announced. Stay with us.
On July 10, 2025, Belize Electricity Limited and Blair Atoll Power Company Limited signed a historic power purchase agreement for the development of a 15-megawatt utility-scale solar plant complete with a 1.5 megawatt, 3 megawatt-hour battery storage system. This project represents a significant milestone in building a cleaner, more sustainable, and resilient electricity grid.
Today's signing is the furthest we have ever come down the road of realizing the needed facilities and our own ambitions for harnessing the power of the sun. This PPA provides a model in which everybody, BEL, Babcock, and consumers win, and that is how it should be. We have every confidence that Babcock can and will bring this project home, and BEL publicly offers whatever support it can to realize this goal.
What we learn here will set the foundation for future projects, including solar, wind, hybrid systems, and even other emerging developing technologies, renewable energy technologies, that Belize will need if we are going to remain competitive and resilient.
BEL and Babcock will collaborate closely to develop and commission the plant within 12 to 18 months from the start of construction. Once operational, the solar plant will supply clean, renewable energy directly to the national grid, strengthening Belize's energy security and diversifying our national energy mix.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Are changing, but why did we update them? The central bank continuously assesses the integrity of our banknotes to maintain quality and security. The old series of banknotes has been in circulation for more than the recommended lifespan, which is 7 to 10 years. The new banknotes integrate enhanced security measures to combat counterfeiting, making transactions safer for everyone. giving you the confidence that your money is safe and authentic. Our money should be as strong and secure as our economy, and the new banknotes reflect that commitment. New look, same value, more secure. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Tired of appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día, para 10 días, y va a estar bien después, ¿right?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Planning a trip to Belize? Here's how to complete your I Declare Arrival form in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Visit belizetravel.immigration.gov.bz. Step 2. Select the appropriate forms for arrivals. Choose Arriving to Belize. Step 3. Provide your origin trip details, including your departure airport and country of residence. Step 4. Carefully complete the immigration form. Add dependents if necessary. Declare baggage, currency, and merchandise, and confirm your entries are correct. Step 5. Download your completed form and take a screenshot of your QR code and reference ID to present to the immigration officer. Thank you for using Belize iTravel. Safe journey.
A leadership change has taken place at the Financial Intelligence Unit. This morning, it was announced that former Deputy Central Bank Governor Marilyn Gardiner Usher was appointed as the FIU's new director to replace Lenny Isagiri McGann. Isagiri McGann was elevated to the post from deputy director back in February of 2023, following the departure of Kent Clare, who held the post for 7 years. Gardiner Usher's tenure began effective August 4th. The government's release today states that with her extensive experience in the areas of financial intelligence, anti-money laundering, and regulatory compliance, Gardiner Usher, quote, is well positioned to lead the FIU through its next phase of strategic development and institutional strengthening, end quote. It adds that under her leadership, quote, the FIU will continue to strengthen its regulatory framework and ensure that Belize remains fully prepared for the upcoming 5th round mutual evaluation process, end quote. Mexico's Federal Commission for the Protection Against Health Risk, COFEPRIS, on Wednesday issued an alert regarding the use of Colgate Total Prevención Activa Clean Mint toothpaste. The agency cited consumer reports of adverse reactions, including inflammation of the gums, dental sensitivity, mouth ulcers or boils, and allergic reactions to the ingredients. COFEPRIS advises consumers to immediately suspend its use. It has also announced a 30-day period for the removal of the product from store shelves. Any returns are to be coordinated directly with the manufacturer Colgate Palmolive SA de CV. Belizeans who shop in neighboring Quintana Roo should exercise caution. Additionally, local buyers in Belize are also advised to be on alert given our active trade with Mexican distributors. In sporting news, the Minister of Sports, Honorable Anthony Mahler, today told the media that he and his team take sports seriously and promised that with their leadership and new vision, sports will finally make a leap in the country. He outlined some key pillars that they will focus on and emphasized that big changes will come to the ministry.
Minister Drea and I have like 4 key pillars. Education, we believe that the disciplines can provide a vehicle for education. For economics, meaning that a small portion of our people can play semi-pro ball, can make some money, can go pro if they go to the next level. Civic pride is important because whenever you have the flag on your chest and you're representing an area, that is important for us. And then the last one is health. We believe that those 4 pillars will be important for us in terms of moving the disciplines forward. We've been in the job for just a little bit over 4 months. We've made some changes within the National Sports Council, and we'll continue to do so. We've sat down with the Prime Minister and the other members of Cabinet and presented a paper on where we want to take sports. And so within the next few months, you will see some of those things being rolled out. So we take the youth and sports thing very, very seriously, and but we have to blow up everything and start over pretty much. And I'm being honest. I mean, all kind of people and say all kind of things, but it has not been working. When we lose 13-1 to Costa Rica, that's not a good feel for the nation. That's not a good look. So that people play sports, and it's just how you set up the programs and the systems for us to be able to compete. I don't believe in just participating and taking a beating out there on anywhere in whichever discipline you want to go. We have to be able to compete. So we want to ensure that our athletes have the right programs and the right systems that they can thrive.
Jason Menzies was also named as the new director of the National Sports Council, and Mahler spoke on what he brings to the table.
Well, leadership is always important in anything, no? If you have mediocre leadership, that's what you get throughout the organization. If you don't have really, really strong people to support. But I think that we're headed in the right direction. I think Mr. Menzies brings a wealth of experience in the public service, and also a discipline, a level of discipline that we need in the organization. There were too many loose ends, and I believe that he brings the right mindset to ensure that things are always done in the right way.
Minister Anthony Mahler had hinted in interviews in previous weeks that the Ministry of Sports is working on a master plan for the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Today, he said that the plans are to turn the facility into a sporting hub. Last week, we had reported that there are plans to build a covered swimming pool for aquatics at the complex. Today, Mahler spoke about other planned facilities.
Right here, we want to create the Marion Jones complex into a sporting hub. That will, we're working with the Tennis Association to build 2 new tennis courts out here. We'll do over the track. We'll put some other facilities in here whereby athletes can come, improve the gym, have more people working in terms of strength training and rehabilitating whenever they get injured. So we have discussed all of these things. We know what it takes to get these things done. It's just obviously money is scarce, and we're putting in place the measures for us to be able to do these things one step at a time. But it will be a phased approach. Like I said, this is going to be a sporting hub. So we're even looking at another softball field out here to see how it can fit. We're looking at rock climbing. We're looking at pickle pickleball or whatever it is. So it's going to be a facility whereby people who want to be semi-professionals or professionals, or the common man or woman could come in and access the facilities. But it can't be free for all when we make the necessary investments, whereby everybody drive their vehicle on the field if they want. There has to be some control, and we're going to put in place the management systems that will ensure that they are sustained over time.
Mahler said there are also plans for upgrades at MCC grounds, as well as the football fields at both MCC and Marion Jones, Rogers Stadium and People's Stadium in Orange Walk.
We're creating a master plan right now for Marion Jones. I just got out of a meeting a little while ago to look at some concepts for MCC and for Rogers Stadium, and then I have some meetings over the weekend to look at People's Stadium and some others of the other facilities. But the facilities are important to ensure that our athletes can be competing and practicing in safe environments. Well, we're looking at it. We have some experts that have come in and looked at it, and they believe that a synthetic pitch would be better out here rather than a grass, a natural grass. And then the natural grass will remain at MCC. And we will do the field over as priority. We're going to break down the old building that is there and put up some new facilities. But you know, these things take time and money. So.
Mahler also touched on how existing sporting facilities are managed and said this will need to change.
Well, you have to put in place the management systems for those facilities. If you have serious people who are there, and you have to hold them accountable in terms of the management of the facilities. There has been this misconception that and not a misconception, but there has been this way of acting with regards to the facilities that era reps and their people run the facilities. No, all of that will stop. And I've signaled that to individuals already, that the facilities are under the management of the National Sports Council, will be managed and operated by the National Sports Council. Now, we're looking at partnerships. For Berger Field, we partnered with FFB. We want to partner with them. We've been talking to them about 3 additional pitches that they want to invest in here in the country. The same thing with the Tennis Association. They're going to build 2 courts out here. We want to do more across the country with them. Same thing with volleyball. If we can partner together and pool the resources and put it in the right direction, then I think we can go a long way.
After the break, Transport CEO tells commuters to ignore bus fare increase in Orange Walk. Stay tuned.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today, because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
A couple weekends ago, 7 bus lines in Orange Walk announced they would implement a bus fare increase that had been approved in 2022. However, Chester Williams, Transportation CEO, says they must follow a process.
Yes, we have seen a release issued by some of the bus operators from the north in which they propose to increase bus fares. And I've also been informed by some commuters from the north that the bus companies have gone ahead with the increase that they had proposed, despite our warning to them that they are not to proceed with any such increase. May I make it clear that the bus fares are regulated by law. There is an SI that clearly outlined what are the fees that buses are to charge from one point to another. I think that SI came out in 2017. And in the SI, it shows that bus rate from Belize City to Orange Walk, for example, should be, I think, $7 or $7.50. $7. The express is $8. They now propose to charge, I think, $7.50, which is 50 cents higher than what the law stipulates. Now, they are justifying this to say that in 2022, the government had approved via a press release the increase of bus fares. May I say that the fact that the bus fares are regulated by law, the change in the fares cannot be done by way of a press release. It must be done in like manner by way of an SI. There is no SI, or there was no SI issued in 2022 changing the rates from what they were in 2017. And so the increase in fares that these companies have implemented is illegal and shall be considered void.
Williams says the bus lines have been sent letters which remind about the process to be followed for an increase. This includes a formal request that goes to Cabinet. If it is approved, then an SI is enacted. Williams therefore advises commuters not to pay the increases. On Tuesday, we reported that Spirit Airlines is expected to begin service to Belize from Fort Lauderdale starting November this year. Today, Minister of Tourism, Honorable Anthony Mahler, spoke about the process to court Spirit Airlines, which he says took a couple of years and what it means for Belize to have an ultra-low-cost airline offering scheduled flights to the country.
There are a lot of uncertainties, and so we've taken some body blows, but we have been consistent from day one in terms of shoring up airlift into the country. And this comes on the heels of an announcement a few weeks ago where we introduced a new flight with Air Canada from Montreal. That would open up same-day connections to Europe as well. So that has been a lot of our focus in terms of not only in the marketing campaigns, but also building airlift into the country. It's an ultra-low-cost carrier, and it is important because you had pretty much a monopoly to American going into Miami, and the prices were often high because they would focus on yields, like most airlines. And so this will keep them a bit honest and give travelers an option at least. Just continuously courting, talking, approaching them, having meetings with them, especially when we go to the conferences, and then we do one-on-one trips to ensure that we have that one-on-one contact with the decision makers in those airlines.
Mahler hinted that there are new airlines expecting to announce service linking Belize with Mexico, the Caribbean, and possibly South America and Europe.
We don't usually say anything public about, but yes, we are in negotiations with a couple airlines, Caribbean and Mexico, and hopefully South America and Europe.
Mahler explained that with the current global tourism industry being a bit uncertain, airlines had to be offered certain incentives to fly to Belize.
And that's why we try to give a lot of incentives in terms of the landing fees and all of that here in Belize. So we work closely with the management group at the airport, and so they provide some concessions as well. But we've also put some money on the table in terms of marketing and other things for these flights to come in. It's especially after COVID, it hasn't been cheap. We've done marketing and co-marketing with airlines for decades, and that continues to be our model, but it has become a lot more expensive to do.
In his new vision for sports, Honorable Anthony Mahler today said that he envisions a collaboration with several ministries, including education and national defense. Mahler expressed his desire for schools to place greater emphasis on sports so that athletes are trained properly from an earlier age. He said that retired public officers and Peace Corps volunteers could be trained to properly teach physical education in schools.
Well, you do that from PV level. So you start instilling them doing the right things from a very, very young age. So that's a program that we're looking at right now. We just a couple of weeks ago, we welcomed 23 Peace Corps to help us teach physical education and different sporting discipline within schools. And I believe that then translates into high school, and then you raise the level there as well, and then tertiary level, and then semi-pro basketball, football, whatever it may be. But I believe truly that there's nothing in Belize or anywhere else that galvanizes a nation when we can be competitive in any discipline that we participate in. We believe that people in the military, they retire young, and some who are still in the service, they have the discipline, they're in shape. That and I've spoken to Minister Drea, and I've spoken to Minister Mira about and Minister Rekena on how we can move that idea forward in terms of having the federations would then train those individuals, and then they would go into the schools. Most BDF, I think, the retirement age is somewhere around 44 or something like that, right? They're still young, and they can better they go into the schools and teach rather than nothing is wrong with it, but to me it's better for them to be in the schools rather than being a security guard outside of a Chinese shop or a bar, right? So that is one of the ideas that we're toying around with to see how we can structure that program.
And well-known Belizean music pioneer Brother David and the Tribal Vibes is set to take the stage this Friday, August 15, at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. The high-energy concert will feature Congo music. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Brother David, widely known for his deep roots in Afro-Caribbean rhythms and cultural expression, has carved a unique space in Belize's musical industry. His style blends traditional African drumming, Garifuna beats, and modern influences, creating a genre that is both ancestral and contemporary. In a brief interview, Brother David shared about the upcoming event and what Congo music is. The concert promises a full evening of live drumming, dance, and spoken word, featuring a host of supporting musicians and performers who are part of Brother David's circle. And he is hoping to catch the interest of a younger audience. Tickets will be available at Niche. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeats can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.